year, Fashion Industry Broadcast decided to cover Sydney's Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week 2018 by embedding itself and its film team with the most notable labels about to show. We tracked their intimate journeys to the runway, sharing their processes, their highs and their lows, the designers and their creative teams prepared for Fashion Week. Over the last decade, many of Australia's one-time fashion sensations have died, folded or changed hands, such as Ksubi, Collette Dinnigan, Marcs, David Lawrence, Ellery, Oroton and Lisa Ho. Many had simply been unable to redefine their value propositions in a fast-changing retail landscape. At the same time, a boatload of new international retailers entered Australia to compete for the retail pie.
First fashion experience, I suppose. I was helping my mom in the kitchen and then just finding a piece of cloth. And I wrapped myself in a piece of cloth there. I decided actually the boy could wear a wrap skirt. Fashion Week is inspirational. Fashion Week is something that actually we dream of.
Australian fashion designers were particularly at risk, with their long-standing practice of allowing European-inspired designs to feature on the local catwalks suddenly becoming painfully evident to their customers newly equipped with the tools of Instagram and websites like style.com and the voices of a new generation of fashion media influencers. However, it hasn't all been doom and gloom, as on the flip side of that phenomenon was the international discovery and rise of Australian fashion talent, with a host of hot names like Zimmerman, Tony Matachowski, and Dion Lee decamping to New York and London, and more recently Paris, where they've received international acclaim and cemented their local businesses with department store distribution contracts, investment deals, and flagship stores in the Australian capitals.
The special position of fashion is that you know every day you leave the house and you get to put on clothing and outfit styles that represent yourself and that say to the world to some extent how you're feeling or how you want to be perceived by the world. So fashion is very important.
The 2018 newly coined Resort Collection Week opened with a bang, as label Camilla and Marc had Sunday to themselves, building a vast, futuristic desert landscape inside the Royal Hall of Industries to show their 15-year anniversary collection. Two of the seasoned veterans, Akira and Lee Matthews, showed confident collections this season.
So, for the prints are inspired by 1980s vintage textile. So basically, actually, this is 4 racks, our collection that we are presenting next week. We also use not only 80s vintage inspired printed textile, but we also use Japanese cotton.
The Lee Matthews collection played with soft rounded volumes, bursts of pale colour and pretty clean textures to cater to their local and loyal clientele. Luke Sales and Anna Plunkett from Romance Was Born showed their last Sydney collection before they relocate to the Paris Haute Couture schedule in July. For their farewell show, they took over the basement of the uber-hit restaurant Aubert for a dinner show that showcased their fantastic Opal Goddess collection in Bohemian Parisian style. Their signature blaze of colours, pleated and heavily embroidered looks were created with the help of Australian fashion artist Jenny Key, whose iconic illustrations made her an Aussie icon in the 1970s. London-based Chinese label Still Studio showed some serious urban glam too, returning to Sydney Catwalk with their somewhat Alessandro Michel-esque blend of PVC, crystal, feathers and lace, creating a textural riot. Global Instagram sensation I.AM.GIA showed their debut unisex collection, and the Bondi brand again wowed with their rude-themed collection of urban separates at the famous icebergs. Double Rainbouu showed in a dingy inner-city pub, the exact pub where Double Rainbouu designers Mikey Nolan and Toby Jones have been hanging out since their club kid days in the early 90s, back when Sydney was lockout-free. Double Rainbouu evoked Sydney's electro rave scene by blending 80s and 90s acid punk references. All in all, the newly branded Australian Resort Showcase showed that Sydney is still a place with a strong and authentic fashion pulse.